Okay, so we are now live and we are on part 22 of the Game Engine live coding stream, and this is part 11 of gestures. So half of the live stream series so far has been on gestures. Okay, so got this bad boy open, and there was something I wanted to add in here. I've been wanting to add it for a while, kept forgetting, and that is we'll put that towards the end, and that is VR. Again, this is a 2D game engine. We're not really doing any 3D stuff in here, so we're gonna have to look into that. But I think we can do some potentially interesting things with 2D in VR. Okay, so we're just gonna wrap up the remaining gestures. I'm feeling very positive about today in terms of getting the gestures complete. The stream is now open on my laptop so I can see your comments, and here we go. So we want to open up Paint and open up the recent file. Okay. Is there not an open? There we go. No, that's not what I want. It will be Documents, GitHub, Project XYZ, Livestream, Gestures. Here we go. Okay, so I lost some of this because I did a restart. I forgot to save. Doesn't really matter too much. I just need to... We've done these gestures now, so we can mark them as done. And need to update this right here. Okay. And let's do green brush, and it is 7 days. Okay, so go back to black. I'm gonna keep this one on black. Yeah, keep down black, keep down one. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we're gonna do this gesture now, which is, we'll call it, instead of left, so this will be up counterclockwise left, I guess. Yeah, up counterclockwise. Thinking about it, do you even need to call it left clockwise up? Because if it's clockwise it has to go up, but actually I quite liked having that up there, just so if you ignore the clockwise aspect of it, just go left up, left down, right up, right down. Okay, so we're gonna stick with that motion. So we want to do this one right here. Yeah, so this is up counterclockwise left, up counterclockwise left. I'm gonna separate these out a bit. Up counter clockwise left. So it's up then left. Okay, up counterclockwise left. Okay, so let's implement that one now. Let me put the others in as well. So we need up clockwise right, up clockwise right. Then we basically need the same, so we'll copy this one. We need down clockwise, no. Yeah, down clockwise right. No, if it's down, it's clockwise left. And then it's up. No, we gotta do down, counter, clockwise, right. Yeah, counterclockwise. Yeah, right. Yep, that's fine. And okay, so I'm gonna put these here just so I've got a track of what is happening. Do a quick build. Okay, so we're gonna copy and paste this, and I'm gonna resize this down a bit. No, the position was fine. I wanted to resize it. Where's the resize? There it is. Copy that. Paste it. Okay, so this is going to be up, clockwise, left. So let's basically look at here. So we want to do this one. So let's activate a brush. Let's do this sort of color. That color ain't too bad, to be fair. I can barely, see the cursor. It is ridiculously hard to see. Okay, so let's do a red color. Okay, so we need one here. We need one at the turning point. We need one here. And we need one there. Okay, those, my footstool. We need those 4 checks. Now remember, this is minus 100. This is 100. This is also 100. This is minus 100. Obviously, these 2 are in the x-axis, these 2 are in the y-axis. Okay, so we'll do $50, $90, $45, $90. Okay, so we'll do this one at 50. But now what we're going to say is minus 50, sorry. Minus 50. Minus 50. But now this will have the range of minus 30, 30. And again, same thing again. This will be minus 90 and minus 90. This, because it's on the left side, it's the same value. That don't add up. We gotta flip these around. Okay, so we got Arian Rahman says you've just posted a YouTube button. Fantastic. So it's almost all the way down. Blah 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 blah. That seems alright now. In terms of reset access, it won't be it'll be negative, won't it? Yeah. It'll be a negative. And the other last thing that we're gonna do is so the direction is none there, it's up, it's none here, and I'm gonna capitalize it. It is up, it is left down still? Is that left down? Because what did we copy it from? We copied it from right. Counterclockwise. Oh, right. Clockwise. That's left. That's going left. I mean, I think we're ready to test. Well, before we test, we gotta get out our trusty controller. Now let's give this a whirl. Actually, before we even give it a whirl, we need to change this to up, counterclockwise left. I believe that's the one we were doing. Yep. So it's up, counterclockwise left. Okay, let's see what we get. We get an error. Nope, this is the VC142 error. Gonna work now. Yeah. So what that is, I might have to Google that. What that BS is all about. Is it the right stick? No, it is the left stick that we're checking. Okay, that worked then, but it didn't work before. Oh, I don't know. Okay, that gesture is now working. Great. We can mark that one as done now. Another gesture done. Boom. Okay, so what we actually usually do at the start of all of these streams is, or for the last few we have been doing, is read a page turn, or what I like to call a page turn, which is 2 pages, turning a page, of the third edition of Game Engine Architecture by Jason Gregory. It's just so it's helping me get through it and, sharing some of the knowledge. So that's what we're going to be doing right now. Forgot to do it at the start. We'll do that. Made that go full screen then. It's not what I wanted. Okay, so look, the bookmark seems to have receded into the page. I wasn't that far into it. Yeah, there we are. Okay, so where's my trusty red pen that I use? A little pointer to improve reading. So let's maximize this so we get some white light. Okay, 4.8.4. Thread safety. Generally speaking, a class or functional API is called thread safe when its functions can be safely called by any thread in a multi-threaded process. For any one function, thread safety is typically achieved by entering a critical section at the top of the function's body, performing some work and then leaving the critical section just prior to returning. Class whose functions are all thread safe is sometimes called a maintainer. The term maintainer is also used to refer to a class that uses condition variables internally to permit clients to sleep while waiting for its protected resources to become available. Thread safety is a convenient feature for a class or interface to offer, but it also imposes overhead that is sometimes unnecessary. For example, this overhead will be wasteful if the interface is being used in a single-threaded program, or if it's being used exclusively by one thread in a multi-threaded program. Thread safety can also become a problem when an interface function needs to be called re-entrantly. For example, if a class provides two thread safe functions A and B, then these functions cannot call one another because each one independently enters and leaves the critical section. One solution to this problem is to use re-entrant locks, see section 4.9.7.3. Another is to implement unsafe versions of the functions in an interface and then wrap each of them in thread safe variant that simply enter the critical section, calls the unsafe function, and then leaves the critical section. That way we can call the unsafe functions internally to the system, but the external interface of the system remains thread safe. In my view, it's a bad idea to attempt to handle concurrent programming by simply creating classes and APIs that are 100% thread safe. Doing so leads to interfaces that are unnecessarily heavyweight, and it encourages programmers to ignore the fact that they are working in a concurrent environment. Instead, we should recognize and embrace the presence of concurrency in our software and aim to design data structures and algorithms that address this concurrency explicitly. The goal should be to produce a software system that minimizes contention and dependencies between threads and minimize the use of locks. Achieving a completely lock-free system is a lot of work and is tough to get right. See section 4.9, which we're going to get onto in a second. But striving in the direction of lock freedom, i.e. minimizing the use of locks, is a far better strategy than overusing locks in a futile attempt to create watertight interfaces that allow programmers to be oblivious of concurrency. Lock-free concurrency. This is section 4.9, by the way. Thus far, all of our solutions to the problem of race conditions in a concurrent system have revolved around using mutex locks to make critical operations atomic and possibly leveraging condition variables and the kernel's ability to put threads to sleep to avoid them wasting valuable CPU cycles in a busy wait loop. During that discussion, we mentioned that there's another way to avoid race conditions that can potentially be more efficient. That approach is known as lock-free concurrency. Contrary to popular belief, the term lock-free doesn't actually refer to the elimination of mutex locks, although that is certainly a component of the approach. In fact, lock-free refers to the practice of preventing threads from going to sleep while waiting on a resource to become available. In other words, in lock-free programming, we never allow a thread to block. So perhaps the term blocking free would have been more descriptive. Lock-free programming is actually just one of a collection of non-blocking concurrent programming techniques. When a thread is blocked, it ceases to make progress. The goal of all of these techniques is to provide guarantees about the progress that can be made by the threads in the system and by the system as a whole. We can organize these techniques into the following categories, listed in order of increasing strength of the progress guarantees they provide. Blocking. A blocking algorithm is one in which a thread can be put to sleep while waiting for shared resources to become available. A blocking algorithm is prone to deadlock, live lock, starvation, and priority inversion. Boom, done. Simple as that. Okay. so if you just bear with me a second, I just remembered there's something in my jacket pocket I need to put away. Bear with me, be back in a minute. Okay, I am back. Like a boss. Okay, so let's continue with this. So we are working on the gestures and we are going to do this one right here. Once we've done all 4 gestures, once I've done one more, I'll have a little chocolatey treat. But once I've done all 4, which I've just done one, so there's 3 more to go, we'll do an advent of code. I believe I was on day 4. I'll have a look. And I had done puzzle 1, I just got to do puzzle 2. Okay, so we're doing this one now. So the up part is still the same. So if I go onto Visual Studio, so we're doing up clockwise right now, and we're going to be testing up clockwise right. Where's the controller? Still on. We will implement it before the controller turns off. I'm very positive of that. So copy that and paste. I'm going to say up clockwise right, and the up motion is still the same, but instead of we're going left, we are going right. We need to change the x-axis stuff. So this is going to be positive, positive, and positive. The rest should remain the same. This will not be reset negative 15. Will it be a reset of negative 15? I believe it will. Because there should be 2 reset 15 there, then 2 reset negative 15, but they're based on the x-axis. These are based on the y-axis. Then the next one would, okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're good to go. Okay, so here we go. No errors, fantastic. Yeah, the up counterclockwise left don't work because that's not the one we're trying. We're trying up counterclockwise, up clockwise right. Yeah, you gotta do it pretty fast, but obviously that's just the way we've set it up. Yeah, that is fine. Okay, so next we've got that one done now. And let's finish that off. Bear with me. Okay, so we're gonna have a Dreamy, which is the equivalent of a Milky Way. See inside, it is the same. Okay, so let's do this one nice. Down, clockwise up. Okay, so down, clockwise up. Let's try this one. So down, clockwise up. So down, clockwise left, sorry, down, clockwise left. It's the down direction, the down direction. This is going to go in up, up, and left, and left. The reset position will be positive now. Okay, so this will change to a positive. We're going down. We'll change to a positive. The X will not deviate. So if we go in, this will be now a positive. This will now be a positive. This will be a positive. Now let's have a look at these. Because we're going left, they will be negatives. And I believe we're ready to test. Just gotta put this, was it down, clockwise left, down, clockwise left, boom. Pardon me. Let's see how this works. If it does at all. Okay, down. Okay, that seems to be working great. Okay, so that's that done now. And before I have my next snack, I'll get on to the final one. So down, clockwise right. No, down, counterclockwise right, sorry. And we'll copy this. Okay, down, so down is still the same, but instead we're going to the right. We're going to the right, but we're still going up on the direction now. So X is going to be positive now, and the Y should still be the same. We should be ready to go. So down, counterclockwise left. Just gotta update this here. It's a bit, all these if statements, it's a bit, I don't know. May I know the engine you are using? Well, it's a custom engine. That's actually what, the series is about. It's creating a game engine. I want to say 100, from scratch. It's built on top of the SFMR framework, but ultimately creating a game engine. Okay, so we are doing down, counterclockwise right. Okay. Yeah, it works. I'm just trying to bug it out a bit. Okay, so that's that done. All gestures are now complete. Well, all of these gestures are boom, 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 and boom. Boom, 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 and boom. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is if I go over to the to-do file, implement all remaining gestures, that's all done. Circular rotations on the analog stick. So this is something I like to detect, is if you're just constantly doing circular rotations. So one of the use cases for that might be, you might be in a game and you might have to unscrew a screw, for example. That might be the thing, and you generally would do that, you know, lefty loosey, so counterclockwise. So you need to detect that. It won't be a gesture based thing, it's more just, you know, detecting that. So we'll be looking at this. It is a form of gesture. Might need to rework the gesture system. So really, so for this we're gonna have and this is gonna be clockwise rotation, counter clockwise rotation, and we want to be able to detect data to detect total degrees turned, and I guess once we got total degrees turned, we can detect number of circles turned. So we can say number of full circles turned turning duration total turning duration slash time, and let's say if it's turning okay, so that's that. Good stuff. And let me build it, and then we'll commit the code over to GitHub. We can literally just copy and paste. Get rid of that. Copy and paste these. Whack them onto the GitHub. My Oculus software installation on my PC for Oculus Rift S messed up, so I need to sort that out, probably reinstall it, and then I need to download Medal of Honor Above and Beyond. Let this commit, and then I will push to Origin. Push to Origin, or push Origin. There we go. Let's have a quick look at the reviews for Medal of Honor Above and Beyond. From the low few things I saw, it wasn't that positive about them. I think I got the rough gist. There wasn't much substance. Let's go on to Metacritic. See what we got. So yeah, the Metascore is 69. User score is 3.6. Jesus Christ, it's a huge download. It's like 340 gigabytes. They said I think 160, 170 of installation. It's just if to uncompress. It's usually the opposite way around. You'll download less and then you uncompress it. You have more, but clearly 55 quid. Jesus. long loading times for those playing on an HDD instead of a recommended SSD. Yeah, they saw them recommendations use SSD. In all fairness, I think if people are moaning about that, it's the way the industry's going. Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5 have, super fast storage. Obviously PS5, in some sort of flash storage, NVMe, but it's it's fast storage, and that's the way the things that industry is going. So you're gonna have to deal with the long load times if you don't have some sort of fast flash storage. So, I mean, it's annoying, but I wouldn't really complain about it too much. Again, I don't know what the load times are like. I know the specs are high. I'm good for that, so that's not an issue. But it's just the space. Jesus, let's see if I've even got enough space on the drive that I install my stuff. So D, no, no, I haven't. I can easily free up, 200-300 gig. That's not really much of an issue. Just a few games off Steam that I don't play. It's usually what I end up doing. Okay, so yeah, I was literally gonna buy this and set it to download, but I will be getting it, but I think I'll wait a little bit now. One, hopefully the price comes down a bit due to Christmas. They'll keep an eye out on that. And three, they're gonna patch up a few things. So, and I ain't gonna be playing it yet. I've got loads left to play. I've got 4 PS5 games. I've got the Advent of Code. I've got Star Wars. At least on the Quest 2, Star Wars Tales from Galaxy's Edge. I've got to play that. There's something on PC there I was last playing there. I forgot Doom Eternal, The Ancient Gods Part 1. So, in terms of gaming, I've got a fair bit to play. So I'll wait, I guess. Make sure it's on my list of games to play and get. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna make sure that it is on my list of to complete. Let me scroll down. Medal of Honor Above and Beyond. It is not. It is not. A bunch of other games I gotta play as well. That's fine. I will get around to playing these. Medal. No, Medla. Medal of Honor Above and Beyond. Okay, so we are so that's committed. We're gonna open up the other project that we had going. Open up the recent project Advent of Code. Yeah, save that. These are the comments I removed. Okay, so what chocolate should we have next? Let's have Spiral's Hazelnut, which is Aldi's fake version of Kinder Bueno. Pretty decent, to be fair. But unlike, actually no, these are individually packed, so they wouldn't need the plastic thing inside of the plastic, I guess. I remember this issue. There's too many passports. I put it in a separate file. She's still here. But I'll put it again in a separate one. And in Visual Studio, I simply just put like, you know, 1 or 2 in there. That should run smoothly now. Okay, so if we go on to, because there was a bunch of rules now. That was the next step. So the line is moving more quickly now, but you over here, airport security, talking about how passports with invalid data are getting through. Better add some data validation quick. You can continue to ignore the CID field, fantastic, but each of the field has strict rules about what values are valid for automatic validation. So 4 digits, at least 1920 and at most 2002, or that's for BYR. So I want to check, is all BYR numbers? If it is, makes things a lot simpler. So if I go over to Sublime, is all, I mean, it's looking like all BYR, just the quick glance that I've done is numbers, so that's fine. Once we've done BYR, we can adapt it for that's fine. Expiration year 4 digits, at least 2020, and at most, again, once we've done one of these, the other one will follow. Okay, so now height is a different type, a number followed by either centimeters or inches. So if centimeters, the number must be at least 150 and at most 193, and if inches, must be at least 59 and at most 76. We need hair color, a hashtag followed, okay, hashtag followed by 6 characters, 0 to 9 or A to F, okie dokie, so just a hexadecimal. ECL, eye color, exactly one of AMB, BLU, BRN, GRY, GRN, HZL, OTH, and PID, a 9-digit number including leading zeros. Okay, that's fine. So 0, so as long as it's a number, basically, that's fine. Country ID, ignored, missing, or not. Okay, so we don't need to concern ourselves with this. So let's first have a look at the birth year. So we get BY 4 digits. So does that mean there's one that's not 4 digits? So if we have a quick look, again, there is so many here. I mean, there's a ridiculous amount here. I can't really scan through all of them manually. So what we'll actually do is we're going to check for BYR, field ID. So let me say, if the field ID equals, you know, BYR, field ID, if it's, we don't like that. Oh no, it's not that there's an error. it is the thingamajiggy. Okay, so if it's BYR, then we know we're doing it based on the colon. We know that if it's BYR, then we know that the next after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so the fifth place, or 4 if you count from 0, the fifth place has to be a space. If it is not a space, then it is not of valid length. So if it is this, then we have passport at I, at J. So not plus 1, 2, 3, or 4, plus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 5, if that is equal to a space. We don't like that at all for some reason. Why not? It's meant to be a character. There we go. Valid passports, invalid passports. I'm gonna comment this out. We're almost ready to put that in there. Now we can actually check the number. Now we can actually get the number itself. So to do that, how do we do that again? We need to use some sort of string stream, I believe. Well, I know we did that on one of the other advent of code solutions. We have, maybe it was day 3, maybe day 2 and 3. S-stream would suggest that that is the one we want. Doesn't look like it's this one. Let's try day 2. Yes, it's something along these lines. Okay, so if we grab that, we're gonna say the ISS. I'll keep it as ISS. We're gonna say we need a string here, so instead we're gonna say std : string . Will doing it this way work? Okay. Let's extend this bad boy up. Okay, may not be that, maybe a plus instead. characters, gotta spell it right. Dot append. We could just do that, to be fair. I'll have one last little try, see if this will work. I won't need the plus, I'll need the comma. Build it. Boom, done. Okay, so here we're gonna put this, but it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now here we're not going to put it in min, we're going to say int year, and I'm going to say year, and the rules are if, obviously this ain't very dynamic and it's pretty hard to extend, but so good, so good. If at least 1920 and at most 2002, 1920, 2002, 1920, 2002, 1920, 2002. If year is greater than or equal to 1920 and year is less than or equal to 2002, then we are going to say valid fields plus plus. Okay, so that's that one done. We'll do another one for the next 2 or 3 should be a lot easier now. We'll have else, and it is IYR. The only difference is 2010 and 2020, 2010 and 2020, 2010 IYR, 2010 and 2020, and okay, so that's a valid field now. IYR, now EYR, and we're gonna say, is this the same? It has to be 4 digits, 2020 and 2030, 2020 and 2030. Okay, so that's the 3 done now. 3 of them. Let me build that, make sure it's still all good, no errors. All good, no errors. And now I'm going to copy and paste this into Visual Studio. Okay, so let's comment these out. Okay, so we're done that one, we done that one, we done that one. Okay, so now if it's HGT, a number followed by either centimeter or inches. Okay, I guess, yeah, because it has to be a 3-digit number. So what we'll be able to see is if the 3rd digit is either I or the 4th digit is either C. That's a simple check we're gonna do. We're not gonna go on any assumption beyond that. So we're gonna say if copy that. If the fourth digit, so 1, 2, 3, oh Jesus, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, is equal to centimeters, then we'll do something, and we'll do this one now then. So we'll do 1, 2, 3. Then we basically want to do something similar to this. Instead of year, it's going to be height, and this is going to be 1, 2, 3. That's all we need. No, we need to get we'll actually do this. std : string so there we go. We didn't have enough brackets, so if the height is equal to 1, 2, 3, then we can basically do the check, and the check is going to be height increase font size please. Okay, I'll whack it up to 150. There you go. 150. What am I going to do now? I'm going to do this check now. 150 and 193. 150 and 193. 193. And what we're going to do now is do something similar, but this is going to be for the inches. Else if and this in, and it's going to be at the third and the fourth position, and we're only having 2 here, and this is 59 and 59.76. Okay, I'm happy that these are done. Again, not tested, but we'll see. Okay, so now we're checking if it is a HCL, which is hair color. You know, what sort of validation that these guys are doing for the passport stuff. Okay, HCL, which has to be followed by, if we go to a HCL hashtag, and then for values. Ooh, characters. So, I mean, there's an assumption I'm gonna make that all HCLs are valid in terms of characters, and maybe not on based on length. I don't know. They might not be. It's a pretty strong assumption. What I can do is, okay, so it needs to have a hashtag. You are welcome, Ivan. Okay, it needs to have a hashtag. Where's HCL again? Is HCL always at the end? I mean, we can't count on that, can we? I don't think we can. Let's just see, you can't count on it based on that. So it's either a space or a quotation mark. Yeah, it could be a quotation mark. Okay, so HCL. So first of all, we need to check, is the first character a... We'll do it based on this. I've already got it copied and pasted. So if the character after the colon is a hashtag, then we can proceed. If it's a hashtag, now we need to check the next 6 digits. So we are gonna say, let's do a for loop. Feeling adventurous. For int I equals 0, I less than 6, I plus plus, and actually we're gonna do a little check here. It says if no, actually we're gonna copy and paste this one, because if it is, so this will be numbers, because if we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This will be, we're doing the 8th character check-in. If there's space or quotation, then that means there is only 6 types of characters there. But before we do that, we also need to say we need to actually check if each character is, you know, the actual hexadecimal value. One second, let me see if this builds. Yeah, it does. And I was going to print out int, but I'm gonna print out a character A, which is 65 in ASCII. Let's see if this actually works. I wanted to print out 65. Yes, it prints out 65. Fantastic. So we can just do that check then, because I'm assuming uppercase and lowercase are fine. It does it doesn't actually mention whether it can be uppercase or lowercase, but I'm gonna do that check. So if I'm gonna say hash, I'm gonna say bool failed equals false. If failed, if not failed, then we are going to simply say valid fields plus plus semicolon. And now if let's just drop this down a bit. If now what we're checking is the integer value of, this should actually be I. We're doing it at 1, and this should be less than or equal to I. Okay. So if that value is greater than or equal to 65, actually no, we're just going to say if it's less than 65, or if it's let's open up an Ascii table. Wow, nice haircut. Thank you very much, Kusa Half-Life 1, and welcome back. I hate this particular table here. This is number 1. I always find that one so overwhelming. Yeah, come on, make it a bit bigger where we are. Okay, so A is 65 on uppercase. So if it's less than that, where are the numbers to be fair? Numbers are there, 48 to 57. I'm going to make a note of this. 48 to 57 is a valid range. What else is a valid range? 65 to 90. And it's 97 to, I'm gonna guess, 122. 122. So those are the valid ranges. So if it is not in one of those ranges, then it has failed. That's what we're gonna say. So we're gonna not quite say this. We're gonna say so if it is greater than or equal to that, and is less than or equal to 90. Let me copy this. And it was 48 to 57. 48 to 57. One more. $97 to 122. So if it actually doesn't, so we're gonna say, I'm gonna put a bracket around all of this. So if that is not, true, then we're gonna say failed equals true. Okay, so if any of those fields come up invalid, then we'll basically be marking it up like this. Okay, so hair color is now done. Now it's ECL. Let's do a quick build. ECL. If I equals 1, it should be okay. So if ECL, that's ignore, we don't need to deal with that one. That makes things a little easier. It's less stuff to do. If ECL, and we are simply going to say valid hair colors std : string valid hair colors. I will do in the UK spelling. Cobra Kai starts soon, season 3. I saw the trailer a few days ago. I know there's been a bunch of trailers from Disney for Star Wars and Marvel. I still need to see those stuff and the full announcements. I will be checking them out in a bit. Okay, so that's that done. Valid hair colors. Now we can basically, okay, so if it is ECL, that means the fourth character has to be a space or a thingamajiggy. So if we copy this, if the fourth one is this, then we are potentially valid. Then we can create a string. No, we can just create a very basic string. So we can literally just say this. Copy that. Hair color. Paste that there. Color code, and this is going to be 1 2 3, and copy that. And now we're gonna go for auto ID in valid hair colors, and we're gonna say if ID, and we can make this a const. Why not? If color code is equal to the ID, then we have a valid one. So then we can say AI can only be valid once in a particular thing. Valid fields plus plus, and now it is the PID, passport ID, a 9-digit number including leading zero. So it basically has to be a 9-digit number. Okay, so that's pretty easy, to be fair. All we gotta do is put, I'm gonna build it first just to make sure we've got no errors. Yes, build it, should get no errors. Yes, PID, and we're gonna check now. Again, we are, why is tab just not working? I know there is some weird thing going on here. That suggests to me that we have something to do with the incorrect number of braces or something. When something like that usually happens, there's some I mean, like, is this even gonna build? It's building. Why didn't you let me tab? Let me write the code as is, and then we'll fix that issue. Don't know why it's going on there. So if it's PID, if the 10th one isn't, again, we're gonna do this. If the 10th one is a space or a colon, then it is 8. You know, the length is 8. Does not necessarily. It's not letting me tab. Okay. So that means it is 9, but it might not be digits. Now we're gonna say we're gonna do something similar to this. And all we're gonna say is the check for numbers is, it's not 65 to 9, it's the first one. And this is 9. $48, $49, $50, $51, $52, $53, $54, $55, $56, $57. Yes, so 10 digits, 0 included. Okay, so you know what? I think we're genuinely ready to test now. Let's build it. We're not going to run it because we need to copy all of this. Copy that. We're going to paste it here. Let's run it. Let's see what we get. Okay, we get an error at eye color. Out of range, okay. Factoring the colon at all? I don't think I have. No, that's fine. That is. Did it get any done? So I don't know what's happened here. And still eye color. So I want to print out how many times this has run. So std : C out J. That's not what I actually want to print out. We're going to get an error. I can put capital out, apparently. Did not know that. Okay, so instead of putting this C out, I want to put C out here. I'm going to say, really could do with a counter now. I'll put int counter equals 0. Should we run it at the end of this? Yeah, why not? Counter plus plus. Yeah, if I just use a regular for loop, this I wouldn't have needed this counter, but didn't think I needed it back then. We still might not. std : C out counter std : and now. Is that lowercase? Oh, that is lowercase. I don't know what is going on there then. It should be 2 colons. See what we get. So we get 0, 1, 2. That means it's the third one that's getting run. Let's have a quick look at what we're on. Do we have the data? The data. Get your puzzle input. Okay, so it's 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. ECL. Yeah, ECL's at the end there. That quotation mark would not work. Yeah, I'll see what the issue is. I know, yeah, I see exactly what the issue is. Let me have a chocolate. I'm gonna have a Jive, their version of Twix. Hi, I'm trying to come up with a new channel related to devlogs. Does the name Burrito Dev or Brandon Codes sound better? Is your name Brandon at all? Let's try and get where you got the name Brandon from. Yeah, so let's check that input again. 0, 1, 2. It won't be anything to do with this one. It'll be something to do with this one, because I 100% bet you, if I go to 0, 1, 2, 3. If I was literally to add like a space there and run this, or no, run that. Even if it crashes, see it's crashing at a different point now, and we have got further along. And I bet you they're the same thing now. But PID is the last one. Yes. Okay, so I see the error. And I'll raise you. Okay, so really I need to check how when we're at the end of a string. We're going to say passport. Ooh, okay, so what I could check is we got the passport size. We have the size. So if J, let's say is 4, so let's do some numbers. Let's say if the size of the passport is 10, and we are currently at 4, then 4 is technically the 5th one, so you add 1 to J, and then you would have to have 5 more to get to the size of it. So if I say if instead of this quotation mark, I'm going to say if this is going to get a bit messy, but I won't do it here. I'll do it where I know it was breaking. Oh, no, yeah, obviously. So if I was to rerun this, it'll break at ECL. That's fine. Okay, so it breaks at ECL. Let me fix the ECL one, and if that works, I can move on to the others. So what we're gonna say is, if we get the if passport dot size, we need the size of it. If J plus 1 plus 4 is less than the passport size, then we can do the next check. I'm pretty confident about that. And then we can get rid of that. I don't think we'll need this in here. I don't know. We're about to find out if this is actually going to work. And can I fix this indentation issue that I was having here? Nope, does not want to indent properly. That indented properly. Oh no. Okay, so let's see. So now, if this works the way I'm hoping, it should crash on PID now. Yes, it crashed at PID, which is good. And now if we fix PID, this is a length of this should probably crash or something else like EY. Yeah, okay, that's fine. The crashes are good. And now let's just slowly go through every single one and fix the problem that we've got. Okay, so I know somebody posted in the chat. I will get to that. Let me just fix these errors first. I'm feeling confident that this should fix it all and we should be all good. So 8, we get rid of that, and then we're checking. Ooh. length could be either one. We'll come back to that one and fix that in a second. Okay, this is also going to be fixed with the same sort of thing. Earlier on, I've only got about half an hour into it. I'm going to continue it after this when I have some food. I was watching White Boy Rick, the movie. I'm enjoying the movie so far. I'm enjoying it. It's typical Matthew McConaughey style of character. Like what he had in, what was that one where he was selling the pills, the drugs, and I think he had HIV or AIDS in there. And he's kind of rolling Wolf of Wall Street and Gentleman. So that's like the sort of role he gets typecast for. Okay, so 5, boom. Okay, so we need to fix HGT. HGT is an interesting one because we're gonna say 4, 5. So if it's 5, then it's this one, and if it's 4, then it's that one. Doing else. But this particular program is a complete mess. It is all over the place. This realistically should be an if statements. Realistically, we should have arrays with the different parameters, and we should be, passing them in, different sort of requirements. We should loop over that. And like I said, it is a mess. But let's see if it works. We're ready to run. See if we get any errors. We get no errors. Boom, it's run 295 times. Apparently there are only 14 valid passports. I don't know if that's correct. We're going to find out. 14 valid passports. Is the one valid passports? That's not the right answer. If you're stuck, make sure you're using the full input data. There are also some general tips on the about page. Please wait 1 minute before trying again. You guessed 14. Okay, so the same 14 again. I wanted to actually see the about page, some general tips. What's the general tips? Okay, so it said try it against the so let's say if I copied this, these should all get flagged as invalid. That's literally what we're gonna see. And I wouldn't usually do it manually, but I am. One second. I'll have the last bite after we tested this. Nope, not gonna do it that way. Yep. We should be ready to put a comma there, put a comma there, and now we should be ready to test. Okay, so I'll copy that. I've already got this whole heap that I can copy over after. Okay, so let's run this. This should produce 0 valid passports. Don't even know what's going on now. Doesn't seem to want to run. Oh, messed up a bit here. If we do that, that messes our thing up. It's pretty heavily dependent on the spaces being there. Zero valid passports. Okay, so that's correct. And this should produce 1, 2, 3, 4 valid passports now. Copy that. Go over to Sublime. Okay, so what do we want to do here? We'll manually just put this on new line. We'll sort it out like this. Okay, so what we're gonna say is this. Home space. No, we don't want to do that. And put a quotation mark, end, quotation mark, semicolon, get rid of it from the end, go back to the start, space, copy that, and now we're gonna do this. Nope, no, copy that, and we're going to go into here. So let's run this. We should get 4 valid passports now. 0 valid passports. Apparently they are still all invalid. Ooh, la 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 la. So one or more of the checks is buggered up. That's what that is telling me. Because these are the valid passports. Let's check the comments. So t-shirts, bread, sub to MW. How come you have 34 fans subs but only 5 viewers on the stream? You should promote your stream, man. Yep, I will. Okay. And how can we try and identify which of the checks aren't, you know, valid. We'll do this. Else, because all the checks should come up valid. So we're going to say std : cout byr std : endl, and we'll just copy and paste that. We'll just say boom. This is IYR now. And EYR. HGT. You know, it's assuming it's even getting into here, it might not be. IN. HCL. And ECL, but there's multiple codes to be fair. Don't know how we're gonna check the ECL one specifically, but we're gonna do PID. Run that. Let's see what gets printed out. ECL. But saying that, again, like it could be ECL, but I know ECL is actually how many times does ECL get in printed out per one? Let's run it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that means the ECL check is failing. I think this is actually the simplest of all the checks, and it's failing. So let's have a look what we got. So if it's ECL, let's get a format of it. If it's ECL, colon, and then 3 characters. So ECL. Because J will currently be the colon. 1, 2, 3. If color ID equals ID. Let me just go even a step further and print out this combo. So I'm going to say color code / I'm going to say ID std : endl, and let's see what we get. So let's have a look. ID is what's from inside grn. See that? There we go. There's valid right there. ECL doesn't get printed for that, so that means it is technically valid field ++. If we go BLU, Let me go a step further and just say valid That's strange. Or have I messed up? So that valid thing does get triggered. So let's actually print out the valid fields. So out valid fields let's run that. Let's see what we get for valid fields. 6. Only 5 there. Even 6 should trigger it. What's the fields array size? Fields array size, required field 3, 6, 7. Let me go back onto Chrome. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What's the ID there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 719. Make sure I got the right data input. 719. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So why is the valid field only coming up 6 times? That's the interesting part. So what I'm gonna do now is comment this out, and I'm gonna print out in each one this. So copy that, paste that there, IYR, EYR, Now we got some comments. ECL, actually, could it be a bracketing issue? PID. So these should all get run every single time. See what is going on. Let me run that. Nope. Let me run that. So ECL and PID, for some reason, they seem to be buggering up. Okay, so we're running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're all running. So why is this only coming up with 5 valid fields? So let me just, I'll duplicate this. And if we give that a run, it is for some reason only coming up with 5 valid fields, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you look, all the fields, it is going into each one of the fields. So now what we are going to say is, in each success field, we're going to say, we are going to say this is what we're going to say. IYR. This is EYR. HGT. This is CM. HGT inches. I'm going to do HCL. So I can't tab for some reason. I feel like it's something to do with the visual assist. Reading it. That's not what I want. I want to be able to actually tab. I'm gonna have to look into that. This is HCL and ECL now. PID. What mode is enabled? There's some dodgy mode enabled in the code. Okay, so success PID. HGT did not get succeeded. Neither did HCL. So we have PID, we have ECL, IYR, EYR, BYR. So The ones that haven't succeeded is HGT. Let's just focus on HGT first, which is the height. Okay, there could be a number of reasons why this hasn't succeeded. Again, I don't think it's this. Can't see why it would be that. How are you doing? I'm good. You're asking what language the code is. Robo Tassel. It's C++, and what we're doing is just the advent of code day 4 puzzle 4. Okay, so HGT still does not seem to want to work. Okay, so let's have a look at, okay, what even is it? Is it it's inches. So it is inches. See if it gets into here. No, let's see if it gets into here. See if it gets into here. Let's see if it gets into here. Or it gets into here. Let's have a little test. Okay. Didn't seem to want to go into either or any of them. HGT. Did it get into here? Shouldn't do. I think I may see one of the issues here. So if it's in there, I'm gonna cut that and put it in here. Maybe, let's have a look. So HCL is the only one that is invalid so far. That is invalid currently. So let's make sure we're getting in. So are we in there? 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 Let's have a look. So we get into here. We get there. Okay, so it fails at this point. Passport size should be 9, I think. HCL. No. HCL is hair color. What am I doing? 8. What was I doing 8 for? That's 6. Was it meant to be 8? I can't remember. So will the engine run on mobile platforms? Currently don't have 100% plans about that. Let's have a look if it's on the to-do. Obviously we can always change stuff even if it ain't. The Android and iOS stuff is not on the to-do, but that's something we are going to look into. That's kind of rhymes. So let me whack it on the to-do. Let me say, we'll put it, I don't know, somewhere here. We'll say asterisk iOS/Android. You know, it would be nice. That's not the highest priority at the moment for me with that. Okay, so HCL is not working. So if it's a hashtag, this check is invalid. Out of range. Nah, that can't be right. That just don't seem right to me. We're close with it. Like if we have the, okay, so the HCL is at the end of this one. Now I bet you if I was to put a spacer, or maybe even two, this will work. Let's put a bunch of spaces actually. So it's, how many spaces have I put? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there's 5 spaces. This should be 6. The hashtag is 7. Hashtag makes it 7. Then it needs to be a total of 8. None of this seems right to me. It is still HCL that is messing up. We don't want to check if it's a space then, do we? I forgot we can get rid of that check. That check is more of an else, isn't it? That's what that check is for. Really, so what we're doing is else. I mean, this entire thing is just a mess. Just a mess of code. Copy that, paste that here. I feel like that will run now. Out of range. it's out of range. For some reason that one's failing. That's a valid passport. Let me see what happens if I put a space here now. What do we get? Is it a valid passport? It's a valid passport. Nah. Don't want the break, actually. Yeah, don't want the break points, that's gonna get triggered. Well, not too many times because it's only 4. That'd be 12 in total, but it's still not what we want. Oh, no. I'm sorry, was that, why is there only the one passport? We should get 4 valid passports now. Still same principle again. HGT, EYR, and I'll be those other ones at the end. HGT is at the end. HGT is at the end. It's the same issue, isn't it? Let's reverse this. So this, let's make this a 5. I mean, let's make this one a 4. Let's make this one a 5. And now what we're going to say is copy that. We're going to cut that. Whack it here. Give this a run. Is HGT still failing? HGT still failing. That did not succeed the way I wanted it to. Okay, we are still getting fails. Been a while on the stream. It's been 2 hours. Good day. Banks at 21 kilohertz says good day. Thank you very much. So what we'll do, I'll build it. It's up to date. I will continue with that particular piece of code tomorrow. So I just want to thank everyone for watching. Make sure the stream health was good. Yeah, see if there how many dropped frames there were. We had a fair chunk of dropped frames. We had 10% of dropped frames. It seems like it's an internet issue. Am I uploading? I am. I forgot to turn this off. Quick back up and think. Am I downloading nothing? I am not. Let's see if this gets back to green permanently. Yeah, I forgot to turn my upload off. Okay, so it wasn't a processing issue, it was just the kilobytes issue. It seemed like it was good enough because nobody really complained. So that's all good. I will see everyone tomorrow on tomorrow's live stream. We'll be doing part 23 gestures, part 12, and that will be like the circular gestures, and we'll be hopefully finishing off day 4 puzzle 2 advent code 2020. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna go and make some food. I'm gonna go and make a cheese toasty in my new Breville sandwich toasty maker. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I'll be doing another live stream later on today sometime for about an hour or so of maybe only 30 minutes, but we'll see, of Sackboy A Big Adventure. Well, we'll be playing Sackboy A Big Adventure on PS5 live. So thanks for watching.